What's up, Met fans? Welcome back to Talking Mets and Rob. How is everybody doing? Before we get started talking about Verlander to the Mets, don't forget, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you're enjoying my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. All right, guys. So we heard recently that the Mets and Verlander had talks via Zoom about a possible Verlander to Queens match. But that is probably a backup plan just in case Jacob Degrom decides to sign elsewhere. And multiple reports have confirmed that the Mets do believe that Jacob Degrom does want to come back to the New York Mets if the contract offers are similar to whatever team offers Jacob Degrom a contract. And we all think it could be the Texas Rangers. But when it comes back to Verlander, could the Mets find a way to sign Verlander and sign Jacob Degrom? That's probably very unlikely, but it is still a possibility, especially when you have the richest owner in baseball in Steve Cohen. Verlander won the Cy Young in 2022. Yes, he is 40 years old. And what else he is looking for? He is looking to a similar deal like Max Scherzer got from the New York Mets. And there is no doubt Verlander wants a similar deal like the Mets gave Max Scherzer. 3 years, $130 million, a little over $43 million per year is what Justin Verlander is looking for. And when it comes to the Mets, would you do that even if you decide not to go the DeGrom route and sign Justin Verlander? Could the Mets still go after Senga? Could they still have to go after Carlos Rodon? There was a lot of options out there for the New York Mets, and they're looking at all options via free agency and via trade as well. But when it comes to Justin Verlander, could the Mets give a similar contract like the Max Scherzer deal to Justin Verlander at the age of 40, going into his 41-year-old season? I don't know if the Mets are really willing to do it, but guess what? They have to go to plan B if Jacob Degrom does not want to come back and sign with the New York Mets. So what do the Mets do when it comes to Justin Verlander? Can they give a deal of that nature or just go a totally different route in Senga and Rodon and put them with Max Scherzer? I do believe the Mets are actually very serious on Justin Verlander because of the fact if nobody understands this, they are in win now mode. Steve Cohen said 3 to 5 years. This is going into year 3 of the Steve Cohen era when he had full control over this team. This is a win now team. For everybody who thinks it's not, the Mets were one of the oldest teams in the league last year, and they're not going to be much younger this year. There is no doubt about that. No matter what signings, what trades they do, they're going to be still one of the oldest teams in baseball. This team is in win now mode, and it's exactly why Justin Verlander should be an option if the Mets happen to lose out on Jacob Degrom. Even though I feel like Jacob Degrom is still going to be a Met, I think Justin Verlander is the plan B option. And if you put him with Senga or Rodon, the Mets feel very confident in that rotation going forward with Scherzer, Verlander, and one of those two guys in Senga and Rodon, and also Carlos Carrasco. And then you can fill in the 5th spot with either Peterson or McGill. But there's a lot to talk about with Justin Verlander. We know he won the Cy Young in 2022. Can he be durable enough and not break down at the age of 40 plus and still be one of the better pitchers in baseball? Do we need him to win a Cy Young? It'll be great, but that's not what the Mets technically need. They need somebody that can be very good and reliable. What the Mets have not had in their rotation is having pitchers that are reliable. DeGrom hasn't been reliable in the last 2 years. Scherzer this year wasn't reliable for the Mets. The most reliable pitcher was Chris Bassett, and there are signs that he is not going to be coming back to the Mets. So you got Carrasco, who had issues staying healthy for a little bit this year. Reliability is key to the Mets rotation and key to this Mets team and the success that they want going forward in the 2023 season. So the big question is, can Verlander stay healthy and still be the dominant pitcher that we see in 2022 coming off the Tommy John surgery, I think Verlander can be. And yes, it is a huge risk giving a guy a similar contract than Max Scherzer at the age of 40. But Verlander doesn't seem like the guy to break down. Tommy John can happen to any pitcher at any moment. So I don't think it was necessarily about age with Tommy John surgery. It's just uncertain events that happened with Justin Verlander with Tommy John surgery. But he hasn't had many other injuries that you would really think you have to worry about, but the age could be an issue breaking down. We see a little bit with Max Scherzer, but can Justin Verlander stay healthy enough for at least 2 out of 3 years? Because I think the Mets, when they signed Max Scherzer, say we're going to get 2 great years from Max Scherzer and we'll see what happens in the third year. Sometimes you do have to take the risk, especially in win now mode with the New York Mets are definitely a win now team. And that's what the Mets and Mets fans have to realize. You can't just go out there, sign Carlos Rodon, and act like he's not a risk for injury, because prior to the last 2 seasons, he is prone to injury. And he has been injured for many years of his career. And just because he's been healthy for 2 years doesn't mean he's going to remain healthy. That goes for the same, not with injury, but with Kodai Senga and coming to the States to play pitch in Major League Baseball. We don't know how it's going to translate. So would you want a Cy Young Award winner in Verlander, who is up there in age, who probably could still be very, very good to great, Carlos Rodon, who's had 2 very good seasons and stayed healthy, but is injury prone throughout his career, or Kodai Senga, who is coming from Japan and nobody knows how his stuff's going to translate to Major League Baseball? I think Verlander is a risk willing to take if you're the New York Mets. But again, that is plan B if Jacob Degrom does not sign back with the New York Mets. Once again, guys, if you enjoyed this video, hit on that like button. If you enjoy all my content, want to see more, want to get notified when I post my videos and when I go live, you guys know what to do. Hit on that subscribe button, everybody. Let me know in the comments, guys, what do you think? Do you think the Mets should take the risk and sign Justin Verlander to a similar contract like Max Scherzer? But that means you probably will lose Jacob Degrom to free agency. Maybe they'll also go after Rodon or Senga if they add Verlander with Scherzer. We shall see, guys. But let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. Everybody, thank you guys for watching. And as always, Met fans, let's go Mets.